What a crazy week for One Punch Man Season 3! So many fans hated this episode to the point where the rating for this episode is lower than the recap. They hate it to the point where they are not only blaming JC Staff, but the director himself, like this comment, "Wow, my head hurt. Thanks to JC Staff and to Nagai for completely ruining one of the greatest manga ever made. Just 4 minutes into the episode and I had to quit." That's how bad it was. You clearly have no idea how to direct an action anime. Why even accept the project if you can't respect its legacy? You turned One Punch Man into a lifeless mess. Stay in your lane. This level of direction is an insult to the fans and the creator. Season 3 is officially unwatchable. Most boring no animation start ever. 6 years and still no real animation, no fights, no hype. It's just characters talking over static backgrounds. I love this anime, but this isn't up to 2025 standards. After all that time, this is what you deliver? Biggest disappointment of 2025. Absolutely not worth the wait. Honestly, so upset. From the best to the worst animation, what is wrong with you guys who vote 10? Are we seeing something different? The animation quality is extremely disappointing. In fact, there are no animations at all. Just still frames with some static camera motions and character mouths moving while talking. The overall quality is abysmal. It looks worse than fan-made materials. One Frame Man is real. I see reviews with high grades and praise for the episode attacking other reviews like they are lying about the quality. It isn't true. The quality of the episode does not reach a bare minimum of animation. Claiming it's okay because there is no action sequence is just delusional. For one, those who have read the manga know that they cut scenes that had action. But more so, it does not matter if there's action or not. There's simply no animation whatsoever. You can watch any average anime in the last 40 years to check it. Tons of anime don't feature action but have more animation than this one. They just make scenes with 2 frames in a loop to make the lip movement as they talk. That's all they do. Take any anime you see bodies moving, legs, neck, some movement in background. The usual anime is animation. There's more frames in One Punch Man Season 1 in any random episode where Saitama goes to the supermarket for 30 seconds or just walks the street than in this entire episode. So 4 days after Season 3 Episode 1 premiered, people are still hating on this episode. While in my opinion the art does look fantastic and really visually dazzling in Season 3 Episode 1, I do agree with the hate comments saying that there is no animation because, let's be honest, there is no animation. Not only were fans angry that there was a lack of animation, but the art did not capture some of the aesthetic that was done in the manga, according to some fans. This X account called @OnePunchManHypeGuy did a manga versus anime comparison breakdown, compared all the scenes from the Season 3 Episode 2, 6 new still frames that were released today. So the first shot we have Garu, and as you can see, the manga does have extra scratch lines on his face, and while the scratch lines are reduced in the anime, I do like the shadow in the anime version. It does look like Garu is going to hunt down a hero, but who could it be? I have no idea. I am an anime only. The next shot is Fubuki and Saitama at a restaurant, and Fubuki is so well drawn in the anime. I much prefer her design in the anime version. She kinda looks a bit evil in the manga version, and I do like the added details in the background in the anime version. The manga was awfully plain. The third shot is of the kid from Season 3, the same boy who was hanging out with Garu, and while I do like the highlights and even the background art in the anime version, oh my goodness, Yusuke Murata's artwork of this kid is honestly insane. The expressions, the shading, you can honestly see the sadness in this boy's eyes. I do wonder if this kid is going to confront Garu, because he did run away from him back in the end of Season 2 after seeing how scary and fearsome Garu is. I must say that this shot is pretty much a one-to-one. It is almost identical to the manga. The only major differences are that the line details on both these creatures have been reduced in the anime. Oh wow, the JC Staff artists really enhanced this shot of Zombie Man, not just absolutely nailing using the expressions, but the coloring, the shading, the beautiful drawn background. This scene looks absolutely fantastic, and I do love how they made the outlines a little bit bolder than the manga. And finally, we have Royal Ripper. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. This might be one of the rare times where I think the anime actually surpassed the manga. This is why I like a good anime adaptation, because you can do extra things in an anime that you can't achieve in manga. Adding the highlight reflections over his eye, the unique choices of color, that texture-like background. This shot would look absolutely phenomenal on a heavy metal rock album. But you know, despite some of these shots looking absolutely phenomenal, I am still a little bit worried, because there is that part of me that feels like these are just still frames, they won't be moving. I mean, looking at this Royal Ripper shot, I imagine his hair flowing in the wind, with the highlights animating over him, maybe the splatters in the background animate. Honestly, looking at this shot, if this Royal Ripper shot had similar animation to that Deku scene, then I would be absolutely happy. But seeing season 3 episode 1 and seeing how literally 98% of that episode was indeed still frames, I don't know, dude, I don't know. Look, we as the fans do not know what JC staff are cooking up. Maybe they are saving all of their energy for those later episodes, because if there is even a lack of subtle character animation, there will be negative comments like this one. Slideshow instead of animation. It is painful to see how the quality of the show has degraded. 10 years ago, season 1 was one of the best animated shows. So much time has passed, technology, new techniques, it's supposed to get better and cheaper with time. But that high level of detail is nowhere to be seen. Instead, shows are getting worse and worse. A poor introduction even with low expectations. I think most fans understand that this is an introductory episode, and the quality of season 1 will most likely never be replicated. Even with that in mind, this is a rough start. Quality and proportions are all over the place, and most of these shots are still frames. Even in introducing plot lines for the season, you still need to make a good enough first impression. A lot of people are holding out hope that this episode is so low quality because the action coming up will be peak. I guess we'll see. But will we actually see whether or not there is action in the later episodes, or just more PNG slideshows? I like the art in the episode, but disappointed that the majority of this episode had barely any animation. But let's see what episode 2 of season 3 will look like. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you guys think of all of this? Which do you prefer, the anime or the manga? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more One Punch Man videos, as well as other anime news updates, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thank you for watching. The Second Boy Dude signing out.